Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So I've put off fighting Stage 4 Perilous Tides for a very long time, only because I had some difficulties through different waves of the stage. And fortunately, one of our Another Eden subredditors, 7th Archangel, gave me some tips on how to beat this one. So make sure you check out his channel on YouTube and also his thread on the subreddit on Another Eden. Now that being said, I'm going to be using the same team, and you can see that it's going to be primarily an Earth-based team with Claude as a support. And we're going to start off right away with turn 1 AF. Now if you're wondering why we're going to do it right through the water zone, it's because different bosses in the different waves reset and restart water zone very often. So you will have to rotate your zone setter in and out depending on which wave you're fighting against. In this case, after barring it down, the Baron would have re-established water zone anyway, so keep that in mind. The second wave I found was the most difficult, and if you've done any sort of boss rush extreme, you'll know that these ogre sub-bosses, Death Ogre as well as Hell Ogre, at 50% HP and 25% HP stoppers, they do kind of the AF finisher where they do an AoE that does a tremendous amount of damage, even with mitigation as well as shielding. And so this was the part where I found the most difficulty. Not only that, but if you leave them long enough, after their HP stoppers, they do a quad hit where essentially it targets the same person, and you usually lose 1 or 2 members. Now in this case, I've re-established Earth Zone, so we're really using AS Seal as our main DPS, and obviously Nokoko as a support and healer. The whole point here is to try to bring down the ogres in one fell swoop from the 50 to the 25 and then the 25 to 0. In my case, Nokoko didn't kill off the Death Ogre in one hit, but fortunately we did it enough to eliminate the Hell Ogre, and if you only leave one ogre, it won't have any more HP stoppers anymore. It does recover to 100% HP, but the fact that it can't do that AF finisher and you're only dealing with one boss, you can just kind of take your time and wear it down as long as you have your mitigation and debuffs on. In my case, obviously with Nokoko having Cat Deity Guardian, we have 4 Father, we do actually even have Top T Crush, which does do a power down plus type shield up, and just making sure we have Vivace all powered up. That's the main thing here. Remember that you do have to use Expressivo ahead of time in order to really boost that bow damage for 3 turns. I believe you can use alternately the True Bow's Prayer, but I didn't really use that in my Grasta setup, which I will show at the end of the video. Now, what did I say about Water Zone? See, the Phantom re-established the Water Zone, and in our case, we're going to bar this all the way down. Now, if you're wondering why, we do have almost a full bar. The enemies don't have any HP stoppers, and the whole point here is not really for anything special. Just kill them all and set up your buffs and debuffs. So I obviously recast Guardian, you can cast Acute Inciting, Espressivo, and if you're really running low on MP, you can even use Bambuku Shower with Miofa to give everyone else a little bit more MP to survive the rest of the stage. One of the criteria is that you have to beat the 5 waves in less than 20 turns. Now, I would say that this is not a very efficient strategy for me. I mean, if you were much more efficient or powered up your team better, I'm sure you can end it in anywhere from 8 to 10 turns. Now, in my case, unfortunately, we're probably closer to the 15 mark, but that being said, slow and steady wins the race. Again, we are re-establishing Water Zone, and Mizuchi is relatively straightforward. I didn't really find it very threatening. With one shot of Vivace, you really do break through the shell, and remember that all these enemies are weak to Earth, so an Earth-based team is of most benefit, although I'm sure you can use like other teams that have Earth units, such as Magic Zone teams, or even like Slash-based or Pierce teams. Now that being said, this is pretty straightforward. Again, one shot brings the Mizuchi to half HP stopper, and it had its shield or the shell regenerate, but that's no problem. Again, one shot of Vivace can end that as well. And at this point, all we're doing is going to wear it down and kill it in one hit. And that's why it's really important in between rounds or during the AF to really recast those support spells. Obviously, the Cat Deity Guardian, you need a 4 Father and or multiple stacks of Stormbite. Remember, the Stormbite does give your team crit damage up. So does Expressivo. And of course, with Nakoko, she also gives a crit damage boost 50% with her. For me, I actually use her spam move as the crit damage increasing, not necessarily the AoE hit. So you can see that the cat hook is not my main attack. It's the cat deity one that gives me a lot more benefit. Okay, so we are in the last stage, and hopefully you've learned from this challenge, and hopefully you are finding this one much easier than I did. In this case, we have multiple debuffs. Everything is in play. This boss does not re-establish Water Zone, and so it's really a matter of 1 or 2 hits of Vivace, and that should really end the fight right there and then. So very, very close. Again, the AoE is really of no consequence, being that we not only have healing from the cat slap, we also have Enderturn Miyufa's heal as well. So let me know in comments below which teams you ended up using. I know this is a very old content, and I apologize for taking so long to kind of get to it. It's really been on my radar, but again, real life obligations, and let's be honest, sometimes it's daunting to experiment over and over to find the right mix of team setups as well as Grasta setups in order to fight such difficult content. Alright, so we're all done, finally. And for finishing everything, you do get a gold badge and some chronostones, and of course, for finishing all of the requirements in one go, you do get some badges, some armor as well, and those do I believe they increase resistance to the element it says, as well as speed. Okay, so in this case, the only RNG you really have to worry about is applying pain, and we do have some occasional pain dormant or enhanced pain Grasta on each of our units, but really Seal is our main DPS, and everyone else is just to help the team survive as well as guarantee crit. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.